All right, YouTube, we are back. We're talking about overextension. I actually, I did a 60-second video talking about the DYU fight or DKU fight. He's the martial artist who's got the great energy, really short, and he's doing that Bruce Lee, 2-inch energy stuff. My Wing Chun lives within a space where we always eat an opponent's space, right? And I said the biggest two problems I think that people have in Wing Chun is they don't know how to bridge a gap. And then once they make contact, they lose contact. So Carl had a question about overextension, right? So one of my problems to solve is if I'm dealing with somebody who's taller than me, obviously, I don't think that fights are ever really going to start off with me squaring up with a man at a bar like this. We have to face the fact 99% of us will never get in fights. The fights are always going to be like, hey man, I don't want to fight. You're always going to have, contact's going to be bridged already, right? It's going to be grabbed. There's going to be a contact already made. That's why I think that Wing Chun 100% lives in grappling space, because 99% of the time, people are going to grab to establish what would be considered like a boxing jab. The boxing jab is the feeler. Well, the bar brawling grab, that's the feeler as well too. I think in the context of keeping your distance, the form teaches you everything, right? The first form, we have the defining of center fighting line. Yeah, you're defining your center fighting line, but you're also looking at your rule of thumb is that your elbow has to be about 1.5 fist length away from your body. So if this is the case, this is where I'm getting the maximum power, right? If I'm going to punch, I'm not going to punch you, but that's overextension, right? The second I wind up violating my stance, that's, nice little short range power under extension, but this is going to be perfect. And this is where you're going to get, what Bruce Lee capitalized off of, that inch power, right? You're putting your entire body into it. So the issue is then once you bridge the gap, you have to stay in there to prevent further extension. What I mean by that is, we were doing drills earlier. If Carl steps in with a punch and I pock punch, one of the concepts we were talking about is, well, why am I not going to extend too far out there? Well, for the most part, if we're training like movie martial arts, we know that in order for somebody to hit me, they got to get to me. So I'll let somebody come in and they're going to do all the work. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to step in as he's punching and then give him a Christmas present by ruining my timing. If I do step in for the sake of bridging contact, bridge, I'm going to have my center more covered. I will have my hands up to make that bridge and then use my tactics. If you violate giving somebody space, because in Wing Chun we don't chase but we pursue. You step in and punch, and I do my tactic, and you step back. If I allow this to happen, that's where we get in trouble in Wing Chun, and that's where that DKU fight happened. It was boxing. They did a lot of stepping in and stepping out. So I'm going to tell you from a shorter man's perspective, I think in the Wing Chun space, we have to make contact, and we have to stick to that contact. And what I was expressing earlier is, with a turn, every turn should be accompanied with a step, and every step should be accompanied with a turn. What I mean by that is, we'll do this side. If Carl punches me left coming in and I'm taking the pox out of the outside gate, I'm not going to exclusively turn, because we can see this is a drill. I'm overextended and my punch goes nowhere. So if you kept that distance, how do I solve that problem? Kept the distance punch. I step and I turn. Every step should be accompanied with a turn, and every turn should be accompanied with a step. If you train at a slower pace, I honestly think that if you have a partner that's agreeable, give me another attack coming in. My next movement should be accompanied with an advancement. All right, and reset something. Give me another attack coming in. I'm gonna change the angle, but I'm gonna advance in. No matter how slight my advancement is, advance in a little bit. Punch again. Just keep that space, and then don't let him get away. Just come in with the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then make him eat the corner of the ping pong table. The point being is, I think where we get in trouble in Wing Chun is, you throw a punch, and then throw another punch. And then when you start eating that space, you give them it's like you're serving yourself up because your energy is going backwards, right? Another concept we looked at was the lap sao. Lap sao is what? Pulling energy back, and it was created for a time when we used to punch like this in the battlefield. So in a chi sao application, what I had said was, you lift, I lift. What I'm never going to do is, I'm never going to pull in a hand to fire a weapon forward, right? My Fox-Owl's got an amplified energy because I'm pulling a man who's 200 some odd pounds into me. No, if he knows how to grapple, which you have to assume most people know how to grapple in today's day and age, throw straight punch in with your other hand. Okay, why would I bong and then lop and then give that to somebody who now I'm open as I'm retreating backwards with a turn for a takedown? Instead, what I think, and again, remember, you're never going to bridge a gap with a weapon in Wing Chun that isn't a punch. You're never going to bong, punch again. You're never going to tan, punch again. You're never going to pox. It's never going to happen. Your first weapon ought to automatically be a punch. You had better punch first all the time. But for the sake of a drill, you punch in. I don't think that your bong should ever turn into a lop that pulls. I think your punch that comes in, it should be a place, if anything, to make you advance. I do not think that it's wise to have energy coming in, even though we do it, in a Chum Kiu form, where we're doing the waist separation from the hips. I don't think it's responsible to pull in and attack at the same time. It's not practical. I think that if you get that motion where you're covering in and if you can hit something, cover and advance it at the same time, and then opening up. It's just for the sake of once you maintain or once you make contact, continue contact. Never let anybody up. We should smother people in Wing Chun. We should overwhelm them, be relentless and ruthlessly, aggressively pursue them. Hope that makes sense. Thanks. Thank you.